Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you would for me, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel as per usual. So, I have a new review here for you for Marvel, and this is Captain America: Brave New World. Um, I just have a question. Um, y'all remember when a Marvel film was like an event? When Marvel when you heard a Marvel film was coming out, you were like, oh my goodness, I have to go see this movie. And now it's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's another it's another Marvel movie. But yeah, so this movie, uh, I mean, it's crazy saying this, but this is like one of the lowest budgeted Marvel films at 180 million dollars. Because usually Marvel films are like 200-300 million dollars or something like that. Uh, so at least they're trying to watch their budget a tiny bit. That's still a lot of money, but uh, anyway, this is directed by Julius Onah. I never even heard of his director. I don't know who this is. I'm trying to see if he did anything that I've even heard of. I guess he directed the Cloverfield Paradox. That's the only thing I've heard of. That was the Netflix Cloverfield. So again, this is a Marvel film. Stars Anthony Mackie. Of course, he plays Sam, who's Falcon. Now he's the new Captain America. Harrison Ford's in it. I think, yeah. Giancarlo Exposito's in it. Uh, and I guess he's a new villain. I don't. Okay, so this movie is basically a political thriller. Or I had, wished it was more of a political thriller. Um, but it's basically they're trying to. It's the U.S. and they're trying to acquire adamantium, and this sort of goes like because throughout the movie it does show the what was the giant things from Eternals, which a movie I wasn't really crazy about, but so it's between them and Japan, and they're trying to acquire, like I said, adamantium from this thing, this giant, because his body produces adamantium, and I was watching the movie. I'm like, okay, they're trying to introduce the X Men. Uh, this is my thing with Marvel. This feels like because this plot is a little scatterbrained. It's kind of dull too at times. Because like I guess what they're trying to do is they're. I wish this movie would just kind of focus on one thing, and that's one thing with Marvel is it just feels like this is jumping around a lot, and they're trying to incorporate too many of their properties into their movies. Um, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Sebastian Stan, who plays Winter Soldier, he shows up in here for like a little bit. Um, he's not even really central to the plot. It's just to show you that yeah, he was in Captain America and Winter Soldier. Uh, the old now the guy who plays the old Captain America, um, I did like him in here. I thought he was pretty good. I even liked him in the show because I saw the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I saw every episode, and I really did like that show. So this movie, I just thought it wasn't really that interesting. Um, it wasn't that. It's pretty much kind of the mediocre Marvel that you've been seeing recently, and it's just it's not like this movie's not terrible. It's just it's just like really really mediocre. Like it's just very mediocre. Of course, with Marvel, you're gonna get the big action scenes, which are pretty nicely shot and everything. But the movie doesn't really get that interesting. I don't think until Red Hulk pops in, played by Harrison Ford, and they have this whole story. Um, behind him, and how you know, you see it in the trailer, which I wish they didn't show it in the trailer that he became Red Hawk, but I guess in a way you have to sort of bring people in to where they're like, oh, it's Red Hawk. Red Hawk is going to be here. Now I have to see the movie. Um, and he doesn't really, if you want to be really honest, he doesn't really show up until the movie, until almost the end of the film. So up until that point, you're just kind of meandering through the rest of this uninteresting plot that sort of rips off Manchurian Candidate. Because I couldn't help it. Like, the whole time I was watching this movie, I was thinking the Manchurian Candidate. And I feel like that's what they were trying to do. Um, and and that's fine if you want to go in that direction with a political thriller, but I don't think it worked. Who's that guy? I've seen him and stuff before. Tim Blake Nelson is the actor's name. Um, I think that's him, isn't it? Because the villain in here, he's a villain in here. Yeah. Uh, what was that villain's name in this movie? Because I'm looking at the cast, it doesn't really say what his actual name was. It just says his name in the movie, or his regular character name. But that villain he played in there, with the brain, I didn't really care for him as a villain. He just, like, because I see what they were trying to do with him. Um, but it just, to me, it just didn't work that well. I don't think he worked very well as a villain. He just sort of stood in the background a lot of the time, and it just and when you see the movie, you'll see what I mean by the Manchurian Candidate comparison, because he sort of does like the because he's sort of behind it. The villain is. Uh, but I just don't. But it's just too much of a mediocre Marvel film, and I feel like they really are just trying to. I feel like a lot of this movie was just them trying to put different Marvel things in here, like references to the X-Men, um, the Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, because Liv Tyler shows up in here, and she looks the same. She looks just as good as she did in that movie. Um, but other than that, yeah, I didn't really care for this. And then even this is so lackluster. Even that the signature like Marvel end credit scene, that was weak. It's literally it's the same, like like when you see an end credit scene like that, when when you get hype, you like the old Marvel films, like you used to get hype when you saw an end credit scene when they told you, hey, others are coming. You're like, oh my goodness. And especially when you see that shot of, remember in the old Avengers where Thanos turns around, it just shows him grinning, and then the thing ends. I remember my theater erupted when that happened. Um, this one, I was just kind of like, okay, we don't care. We don't care anymore. The past 20 years, we've been getting nothing but a bunch of superhero films, and you have to kind of up the game a little bit, and I think Marvel needs to start doing that as well too. Uh, because I just don't really get excited for anything Marvel drops anymore. Uh, yeah, this one to me, I'm gonna go with a low recommend on it. Um, like I said, that the Red Hawk scene was worth it, even if you have to wait for it. So, and then that end credit scene didn't do anybody any favors. It's just not a good end credit scene. Uh, yeah, this is a low recommend, and honestly, uh, I feel like this too with Marvel. Uh, there's something else I was gonna say too, and I'm kind of blanking on. I lost my train of thought. But I will say it is definitely the shortest Marvel film. I think it's only 2 hours long, if that. I think it was like a little under 2 hours. It's probably like an hour and like 50 minutes or something like that. So it is a short for Marvel standards. Usually Marvel movies are like 2.5 hours to 3 hours long. So this is just a straight up like kind of 2 hour film. So it's not that long. Um, and it is on Disney Plus now. That's where I saw it at. I saw it on Disney Plus. Uh, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I said, that's why it's a low recommend for me. I can't imagine being excited for this, and I don't even think they're trying to redo the Avengers, and I just don't. I don't find the. I didn't really see the excitement um, that Marvel used to give in their first couple phases. There was just no excitement here. Um, I think everybody does a really good job. That's what I want to bring was the controversy because you know, in the controversy with this movie of us having a black Captain America. Come on, let's not do that. Okay, it's just stop with the controversy, people. It's not that serious. He's Captain America. This is that was the story, and I think and one thing I liked about the show was they do kind of address that too, especially with the old Captain America as well too. So, um, but yeah, sorry, I was a little disappointed with this one. Low recommend for Captain America: Brave New World. Like I said, I didn't hate it. It was just kind of it's kind of there. Um, this is on par with like this was almost a par for me with Captain Marvel, but I think Captain Marvel was slightly better. Uh, it just Captain Marvel I think just had more going on for it. So and then it had the opportunity of being in between like the Avengers movies. So there's that. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one a low recommend. Did you like Captain America: Brave New World? Um, if you did, go ahead and comment. Let me know. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I think I was just more disappointed with this than anything. But yeah, I'll definitely leave you guys to it. Tell me what you thought about it, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.